You are listening to the Douchebag Show.
Is it time for us to start talking now, Josh? He's like, don't do it yet.
What an intro.
That's a good intro.
What? You saying we can start talking now?
Why is that a bad intro?
Don't talk like that.
Because it's a little awkward.
No,
Can we start talking now, Josh? Are we out?
You didn't introduce the show. You waiting for me to do it? You can.
Yo, what's up,
waiting
yo?
for Lenny to do
what's
it.
up, Effers? What's going on?
Lenny's still not saying anything.
I'm reading about WNBA now.
Welcome to the Douchebag Show. We are your team. What? Say something.
I wish wait till we get video, guys, so you can see how ridiculous we act.
Lenny Grammatica.
You.
To my left. Cuz M Easy.
Yo.
To my front.
What's good?
To my front.
It's just weird, man. Just fucking weird.
Jeezy on the ones and twos. To my right.
He's in front of you.
No.
He's definitely
Meezy's in front of me.
It's the way you're sitting, but he's in front of
I'm
me.
sitting. No, I'm facing Meezy, so he's in front.
This is a topic right now.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Does Dave know north, south, east, and west?
How's everybody doing? How's your weekend?
Weekend was good.
Yeah.
It was nice out.
It was nice out. It rained hard as hell yesterday.
It definitely did.
For like a half
did.
hour.
Yeah, it was bad.
Hard.
Torrential downpours.
For a half hour.
Yeah.
Half hour. My house, it was literally like the whole fucking day.
It was
My
crazy.
dog looked like a fucking mop, like in a janitor's closet.
You let her outside?
What am I gonna do? She gotta go outside at some point.
I mean, yeah, I know, but damn, how long are you gonna have her on?
She's out there for like 2 minutes. Anyway.
Yeah. Sports has been eventful.
Yeah.
The Bruins tied the series, so we're going to Game 7 in the NHL tomorrow.
Are those really the best words in sports? Game 7.
Uh,
Everybody says that. When is the Game 7 the best words in sports?
To me personally, I mean, I do like that. I do like it going down to, and you know why it is? I was just getting around to this basically. The reason Game 7 is the best words in sports is because it's sudden death at that
It's
point.
all or nothing.
So why not just take it down to that in the first place, like the NCAA tournament?
Because of TV revenue.
I know, I get it,
That
but
doesn't
to me,
show you who's best.
yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
You better
Not one
bring it.
game.
You better bring it.
You might bring it, but what if you're off?
Well, you can't afford to be off.
You can't afford to be
You
off.
can't.
That doesn't make sense.
It does
Sometimes
make
you're off.
sense. No, you can't afford to be off that night.
So you can't. You just gotta be perfect.
You do. If you want the chip, you and your squad gotta be on top of your game if you want the chip. Because the team that won the chip, they ain't never have an off night.
Yeah, they did.
They do in a best of 7 format. They do.
Even
In
if
a best of
it's
seven.
if it's best of 5, even if it's best of 3, you're not going to be perfect every single night.
Hey,
What
I
if
feel
what
like-
if you get a cramp?
well, you shouldn't have got the cramp.
Better drink that pickle
You
juice.
should
Shouldn't have got
hydrate
the cramp.
before. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah. Sudden death means so. If it's going to Game 7, regardless of what sport it is,
Mm-hmm.
there's no excuse at that point. If you get a cramp in Game 7, then what you gonna do?
Well, I mean, at that point, yeah, that's true. I get that.
You got
but
nothing.
you fought
Because you
to
had the other 6 games to
right.
win
You
for.
fought to the point where you've gotten your team to this point. Is
Right.
what I'm saying. So you can't just be like, yeah, it is all of a sudden death, and you really can't, because at that point you lose. You can't afford to have a bad game.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't just be like, all right, well, this is it, one game and done.
Hey, listen.
Not on professional level, anyway.
I feel like it can be. The NFL does it. It's one game.
Football's different.
I mean, I get it. That's a
Football's
tough game to play
completely
3 times.
Yeah, you know.
Our-
God.
Running back's career would be a season and a half.
Hockey players do it.
Different sport.
So, for all those people who argue hockey's just as tough or tougher than football, you will make the argument that that's not true.
Depends on what you mean by tough.
If you're saying that hockey players can play a
Football-
best of 7 series, but football players can't,
Football fucks your body up more, sure.
right?
I don't know that means you're tougher. Hockey, prime example, Sedino Chara on Boston.
Mm-hmm.
Dude took a slap shot off his face, broke his jaw.
And still played.
He was back on the ice in 10 minutes.
Yeah, but
That
see,
happens
how
to
many
me every day.
how many NFL players that you know have dealt through like injuries and like broken fingers, broken toes,
your jaw.
ankles?
You're a
You don't
skater.
need your jaw in hockey.
Your jaw is moving anytime you swivel.
You don't
that.
need your jaw in
How
hockey.
you move when your jaw move? I just saw you move. Your jaw didn't go nowhere.
Your bones and your
Unless
bones
you
are still-
screaming and yelling and
You
talking
got-
to the other players, like you don't need your jaw.
All right. After this, let me punch you in the face and we'll see
You
what
got
happens.
it.
All right,
I'm
all right.
still gonna bust your ass in
We're
ball.
definitely recording.
You know what I mean? Like it wouldn't matter. You know, like if you were saying this is boxing and you'd be like, oh well, you know,
broke his
That's
jaw.
just one
his jaw,
example.
That's different.
That's just one example. I mean, there's guys in hockey who break their ankles and they come right back out. That
They
you know,
tape them up.
Yeah,
Let's get back on.
they give them a little numbing
little
agent and get
shot,
back out there.
yeah.
They'll play the whole freaking playoff still.
You don't think that happens in football?
Some players, not all. And
Yeah, I agree with
basketball is by far the worst.
I was gonna say
Yeah, that don't count. We
You don't
not
think the
counting
defense and the
baseball.
offensive line like they don't get like shots and shit during the game? I'm sure they do.
Yeah,
All that off and on, just whoo.
Everybody get cortisol shot.
but that's
You know
like,
what
but
I
that's like bumps, bruises,
That's not
usually.
bumps and bruises. You can't say a 300-pound man hitting you is a bump.
or a
It
bruise.
is. It literally is.
That's ridiculous.
It is. Your muscles are bruised and tight and this and that, but you don't hear a guard shattering his ankle, aka the Eagles guard this year. He missed the whole season.
If that happened in hockey, you saying he gonna play?
A lot of it's the playoffs, absolutely.
He ain't playing. If
In
he
hockey,
shatters-
You
absolutely.
can't skate
gotta-
if you
you
shatter
can't
it.
skate.
Go look up Darius Kasparaitis. Penguins
I remember-
played the
I
whole
remember.
playoffs. Completely broken ankle.
A completely broken ankle.
A lot
Like
of them.
snapped.
I don't know if it snapped
It
or
was
Now
what.
it
flailing.
changes. Now it
He was
changes.
flailing like this.
I don't know the whole, but you know what I'm saying. You don't get that in
Cocaine's
many other
hell of a
sports.
drug.
There are some football players that'll do that, yes,
Yeah.
but not to the level of hockey players.
And I'm not sitting here trying to debate or who's tougher. I'm just saying, like, if you're going to make the argument that
Football
hockey players-
beats up your body more
all right,
because it's nonstop. You get hit. You get hit.
So is that
You get
why
hit.
they need a game, just one game for the Super Bowl?
It's too much wear and tear. Yeah.
Okay. And hockey.
so you don't take that much wear and tear in hockey, but you're saying that doesn't
It's not as compounded. It's
Yeah,
Okay,
it's-
so you
it's
might
not
be,
a measure of toughness if you compare those two sports. It's just how those sports are played, is what you're saying.
and how you get hit in football is probably a lot more forced than it is in hockey on the everyday hit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
It's just a different attack, a different way your body's getting hit, the way it's hitting the ground. That doesn't really exist in hockey that much. You get hit into a board that gives a little give. It hurts your shoulder, but all right.
Sometimes
Your
it
head's not getting-
smacked into
Yo.
them.
Yeah, but for the
I've
most
seen one
part,
guy
your head's not getting hit 30 times like it is in football.
Right.
That adds up a lot. And your knees aren't getting – you can't hit a player in his knees in hockey, so their knees aren't getting fucked up like that. It's just different. That's why football, you can't play that many games.
True. Lenny has spoken.
Good job, Lynn.
No, but everybody check out Game 7
Tomorrow at 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock NBC.
Who you got?
Bruins. The Blues let it get too far. I'd be surprised if they won.
Okay.
What about you, Lenny?
I'm good with the Bruins for one reason.
And one reason only.
They got the best goalie.
Oh, and ever.
Oh, whatever.
Ever.
but Tuukka Rask is a top tier goalie in hockey.
What's his name? Say the
Tuukka Rask,
Tuukka Rask.
and he's been there before.
I'm gonna name my next child.
The Blues goalie is a no name until this year. He's never been there. I'm going with the proven superstar goalie. He's been there,
experience.
done that. Yeah, because a goalie can change a game in hockey 100%.
1,000,000%.
The other team could be dominating like the pace of the game, the shots, but if that goalie's hot, it don't matter.
I feel
You can stop 100 shots on goal. It don't matter.
Yeah, it's true.
Rafael Nadal wins his 12th French Open. If anybody cares.
Nope, didn't know.
If anybody cares.
What else is going on in news before we get to our hot topics? Somebody said something else before we got started.
I mentioned the U.S. women's team.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he felt bad.
I feel bad for Thailand.
for Thailand. I'm just like, why?
Because you're in the World Cup. This is like the mecca of soccer.
But it's not like they're not good at it. They obviously have to be good enough to get there, right?
Well,
yeah, the 13-0 on the international stage.
Yeah,
like,
well,
whew.
maybe they had a
That's
bad game, Dave.
You can't afford to have a bad game.
to have that game. You can't
In
afford to
the
have that
story, you can't afford to have a bad game.
game. You gotta be on
That's what
point.
it comes down
Like,
to.
I want to know how it gets that bad. Was it like 5-0 and the coach was
you-
like, look, we're not getting shut out. We're not getting beat that bad. Let's go all out on offense. And they forgot about defense. And they still couldn't transition offense. And then it left U.S. to just do whatever the fuck they want.
See, probably
Like, what happened?
Walked off.
How?
Yeah.
How can you
Like
not
that.
just at that point go, look, we lost.
If
Let's
you're-
not lose by double digits here and just play pure defense.
I think some teams. I mean, I do think some players and teams just take it to another level and be like, "We're just gonna step on your throat just to kind of prove a point."
I feel like in
It's
soccer,
possible.
soccer, when you get to like 4, you're like, all right, we stepped on your
I
throat.
feel like
soccer.
certain games, once the score gets completely out of hand, it needs to stop. In my opinion,
That's in all cases. Though,
I
right?
do.
Like,
I feel like if you at 9 goals at this, all right, we can stop this. You know what I mean? Like we can stop it.
Put in
They're never
put in
gonna
all the
catch up.
backups and let them just like get
Or
out there
something.
and chill.
It's something.
yeah.
I don't know.
Like I mean, I would imagine that after the 6-1, your goalie's like starting to cry.
We've
Like,
all
you
gotten
getting
to that
teared
point
up.
where it's just like, look,
Remember
just
when we was in
please
the
stop.
league?
Please
We
stop.
were just getting destroyed. It was like 20-75
Yeah.
or something like that. You still want this game to go on?
But you don't want to see the player in you isn't going to quit, right?
Yeah, but you know we ain't scoring 50 points.
You never know. You
gotta
gotta bring
know.
it.
You do.
Maybe
you gotta bring it.
You gotta bring it. Maybe the other teams, they're gonna start falling
You ain't
off. You
scored
start hitting
50
threes
points
like Golden State
in
because-
20 minutes.
Yeah, you can.
Hitting threes.
You gotta make all of them.
Who?
5-point plays.
What are you getting fouled in a putback on the missed free throw?
5 on the 3. You know what I mean?
Oh man, that's funny. That's funny. We're gonna talk about a little NFL. I'd say I don't have a whole lot of NFL talk, but I'm a little upset. I guess annoyed, not upset. I'm annoyed.
Okay.
Upset is too strong of a word. But it's like every year you hear about these players who I'm a holdout or going to mini camp because I got a good contract, but I don't have enough guaranteed money and I want longevity. And I'm just like,
play football.
just play.
Just play.
And I get
football.
there's so many people. There's so many people who's pro player, and I'm not taking nothing against that because we know the NFL is a bastard of a league. They're gonna rape you. We
Right.
know they're gonna get everything out of it.
Right.
But don't sit there and act like you're not making $1 million, like $10 million a year. Don't
Right.
sit there and act like that.
Right.
Like all of a sudden,
And
I
there's-
can't pay my bills.
And then there's people.
so I gotta hold out.
There's people waiting to get your spot.
Yeah,
you know
that's
what
what
I mean?
I'm
And
saying.
so,
Like you are the pick of the litter. You are one of tens of thousands of people
Right.
who would love to be in your spot.
Mhm.
But you sit there and I'm gonna hold out because I deserve X, Y, Z.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. Or I'm on my last year, my rookie contract. I want to guarantee money.
See, I'm torn on that
You
when
on
it,
a- you
when
on
it
a
comes
fence.
to football players.
Okay.
It's the contracts in the NFL are not friendly to the players, which we all know
Right.
that they will drop you like that, right? So if you're like a proven player, and say you signed a 5-year deal, you're on your 4th year, you're still playing really good, but you're getting a little up there in age, hence Malcolm Jenkins.
Mm-hmm.
Shouldn't the team kind of like, hey, let's find a happy medium here and let me scratch your back, you give us 2 more good years, hopefully, or something like. There seems like the
Meet in the
NFL,
middle
the
somewhere.
NFL will not reach out at all. It seems with players in those scenarios.
Well, I would
at
imagine it's because they feel like that player is getting a fair deal.
But the way they make the contracts and the way the CBA works, there, they could just go, yeah, you know what? You were a borderline Pro Bowler last year, but you're cut. Here's $200,000 left on your guaranteed money. Like that's nothing.
So there, but okay, that might be true, but we're not taking into account the whole contract. They're still getting paid. They're still getting paid.
But say he
Or
gets
have
hurt.
gotten paid.
Say
Or
he
have
gets
gotten this money.
Say he gets hurt in camp.
right.
Depending on how the contract's written with his guarantee, he might be able to be cut during camp if he gets hurt, and
Right.
he only sees a small portion of it.
Okay. But so
The
you're
only
saying.
sport that doesn't guarantee it.
Right. So,
Only
but you're
sport.
saying, so if he was on his, let's say he's on his 4th year, right? And they go into camp, he gets hurt or whatever. haven't you had 4 years of money at this point? Like,
You
you
had
didn't
money.
put none of that up? Like, you know what I mean?
Nothing with your
That's
money.
what bothers me about this. It's like, it's not like you hurting financially.
Looking at it from a regards of if you saved your money is irrelevant in this scenario. Yes, they should save it, but it's irrelevant in this scenario. You're saying, I'm a good player, I'm underpaid, I want my fair shake, I'm near my contract end, let's talk. How come a coach can go, hey, D'Antoni's like, I only have 1 year left. I'm not going to come back and coach if you don't extend me for another year so I know I have security. Coaches can do it and no one bitches and complains, and their shit's guaranteed. If they get fired, they still get paid.
Well, I agree that if you sign a contract, you should get paid, and it's definitely unfair.
So if they
for the
guarantee,
players.
that's what Malcolm Jenkins just wants his money guaranteed. So they're paying him $7 million this year. He just wants them to guarantee it.
But so from my perspective, who are you hurting? If you're Malcolm Jenkins, who are you hurting more?
What do you mean?
Who are you hurting more by not
By
not participating?
It's like a bargain. It's like a union going to the table with the company. I'm trying to threaten you with the idea you're not going to have your leader on defense.
Okay, so what if that threat doesn't work? What if that threat is just
It's
like,
a risk.
all right, well, leave.
It's a risk.
And then, at that point, you just like,
Yeah.
every other team now is looking at you like,
No,
Now your defensive back's got a hole in it.
and you might not get
every
picked
other
up.
team's looking at that going, man, if they cut him, I'm going to bring him in on 2 years, $10 million guaranteed.
Or they can
he's
look at it
desperate at
as,
this point,
is
not
he
got a
going to
good
try
player.
to do that same thing to us? It could go
Nah,
both
don't-
ways.
NFL's weird. It doesn't.
It is weird.
It's weird.
But it could go either way. Like, you can't just be like, well, I'm holding out till somebody give me what I want. If nobody give you what you want, then you still messed
It's
up.
so many variables because I'm like, you signed up to play this sport. You've been playing this sport since you was a kid.
That's
You
fine.
knew the
It
risk.
doesn't mean the business can't do its end to help him out. They're
So,
making
all right.
fists of cash in the NFL.
I completely agree.
And
I
you
completely
can't
agree. So let's-
guarantee more of the money.
We're
if you're not a
asking,
quarterback,
you're asking a company to be morally devoted to their players, which it's not.
which is their product.
Yeah.
Which is not going to happen. You know what I mean?
Why? How come every other major sport can do it?
It's I agree with you, but the NFL is like, well, we don't have to. We're the biggest sport in America. There's no reason we need to do this. So they're not going to do it. So with you knowing that, why don't you try to come and combat that in a different way? You know what I mean? Like
How? So again, go back to Malcolm Jenkins. He plays rest of this year, and then they decide, okay, they got their money's worth on him this year, but they want to go in a different direction to save cap, whatever. So they cut him. Mm-hmm. So now he's a 34-year-old free agent going to a new team, has to learn a new system.
Right.
Another team's probably not going to value him as the same. He's probably going to get shit on the market.
And he's probably not worth getting.
But he is
top
to the Eagles. He's their best defensive
the
player.
Eagles,
He
he is.
controls that defense. He brings leadership. He brings stability.
Like you guys said, it was a risk because if he goes anywhere else, he's probably not the same player. Darrelle Reeves did the same thing. He went somewhere else, not the same player. He wasn't the same player since he left the Jets.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it was just like, it's a big risk. You can go out of the system that you were basically brought up in, and you could fall flat on your face and never get back to that point. Or you could just take what you got. You know what I mean? Because you're not making chump change. $7 million.
I understand.
Is not chump change.
I understand.
And it's not like, again, it's not like you hurting. And here's my biggest issue with that stuff. It's just like, people, these guys will, and I understand, we all understand that the NFL ain't shit when it comes to their players, right? But these players will come together and argue and fucking argue about weed, about being high. But they'll come together on that subject. On that topic, they all for it. They just like, we're going to band together and everybody let's just smoke weed. It should be okay. But they won't come together and negotiate shit like contracts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if they don't want to do it, if the NFL doesn't want to do it, then you just be like, all right, well, we don't play.
And I know Lenny knows this. Wasn't a recent CBA sign? Like, don't they?
No, they might have a holdout in 2 years because
that's
they don't
what
have a
I
new
knew
one.
I was reading it somewhere.
I just need them to understand that they have the power. You are like Lenny said, you're the product. You don't have us. You don't get paid.
So that's probably.
So we'll just hold out. Okay.
As a collective.
As a collective group, come together and say, listen, you guys got to change this, and this
Ready,
about
Mike?
contracts. Hold on. You guys got to change this, and this about contracts. If not, we all going to come together, and we not going to play.
That sounds nice, but ready, Mike. So you got 3 other people on your team. Say they're like, man, we're underpaid. We know our company could pay us more. we're gonna go straight and hold out. Well, what are you like, man? I got a house, a kid, a wife.
Again, these people are not making chump change. The minimum
That's
guy
what I'm
is
saying.
making what?
Six,
Go
600
ahead.
probably.
600,000.
Probably in that ballpark.
I'm sorry. You got people out here that's surviving off of 25, 30,000.
All right.
So 600,000, I think you should be okay. Stop. You know what I mean? Like
You should. You need to learn how to manage your money.
You got just a little bit.
But it's more than that. You want your fair share.
No.
And in football, your window is small.
True. I agree with
You want
that.
your fair share, but you got to also get paid what you're worth.
Yeah.
Your output, right?
Yes.
So what he's saying is, if you're one of those players who never get ticked, you probably not on just a practice squad. You probably make the 53,
Okay.
but you don't really get in the game. So you making at least
Those
6
aren't the players holding out because they don't have any stats, any film to fall back on.
Yeah. So the point.
It's the big time.
It's
big
the
guys.
big. It's the
So what
big
I'm
name
saying,
players.
why not come together as big time players and say, hey, this isn't fair. You guys
'Cause
have
to-
to change this
Because
for everybody.
Because to make that change, you have to have the whole players association behind it.
Right, and that's my point. Everybody's behind smoking weed, but nobody's behind changing this stuff.
No, they are, but you have to balance that. I still want to make income until then.
You should be
have
okay. I'm just saying, man.
You don't get what he's saying, Larry?
I'm not saying.
I do,
Like
but-
these guys
but-
are making
Honestly,
over
like, honestly,
$500,000
Let's
minimum.
put the situation in your shoes. You're an NFL player. You're a running back, right? You are maybe not the greatest running back, but you're making at least.
Damn.
I'm just saying.
You don't have good running skills.
I'm just saying. You're making at least $600,000 a year. You know what I mean? At least that.
All right.
So you've made that maybe 2 years in a row.
Let's say 2 or 3 years.
2 or 3
Okay.
years in a row. So you probably have at least that much in the bank. At least that. You should anyway. So if
You
there
figure
was,
you would hopefully save a third of it.
yeah,
So
yeah.
if one
If there was
season's
a
worth,
if there was
you
a
would hope.
holdout, you don't feel like you would be able to manage during this
I'd
holdout?
probably be okay.
Yeah.
But then I go, man, I just lost another year of,
Yeah, but it's for the greater cause,
Right.
right? So you lost a year, you lost $600,000. So maybe after the contract negotiation is over and there's an agreement made, maybe now you're making $800 and
Because-
it's guaranteed at this point. You know what I'm
Because
saying?
at that point, the owners are missing out on money, and they're missing out on a
Way
whole
more money
lot
than the
more
players.
than the players are. 1 year of these players holding out, these owners are losing billions with a B.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to let that go on for too long.
And let's not talk about a big time guy who's getting 22 a year.
Right.
You better not.
or
sit here and
your Wentz and
Yeah.
Rodgers making close to 40.
That's what I'm saying. So I mean, that kind of is a caveat into this. The other thing that is annoying to me is like, why do fans and people get so excited about these contracts? You know what I mean? Like it's like, oh, Wentz signed a 4-year extension, $128 million. All right, yeah. Did y'all expect him to go anywhere? He wasn't. Philly wasn't gonna let him get away.
I don't think so.
It was,
You know what I mean?
The question with Wentz was, are they going to wait till next year or not? And then if he played back to an MVP form with the cap going up more, he probably would have gotten another $5 million a year.
Mm-hmm.
So they're taking a little risk to go, he's going to stay healthy. We're guaranteeing him now to save money in the future.
Right.
So they took a little risk in that regard. That was the question
It
with
just
Wentz.
was funny to me that it's just like it made such news that he signed this deal. And I'm like, did you not expect him to eventually get a deal? They're not letting go of that guy.
99%
They hung
of the
their
world
head
knew
on
it was happening.
on Wentz. There's, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, we know that the quarterback position is
It's the most important, yeah.
position that's
Right.
going to make the most money in the NFL. It's
And
not big
he's
news.
halfway. I mean, he's not more than halfway decent, obviously, but
Healthy,
he's
he's MVP candidate.
healthy. Yeah, healthy. You just got to worry about injury. That's it.
I mean, that's the big question with him. But it's just like, so you got your quarterbacks, and then it's the edge rusher. I think it's probably number
And
10.
left tackles.
Yeah, left tackle. I would say that it's quarterback, DN.
Let's look it up.
All right, yeah, go ahead, Lenny. But I would say before he looks it up, I'm just guessing this. I could be wrong. Quarterback, obviously number 1.
Right.
DN, number 2.
Okay.
Very close, if not more than quarterback at some point. Then you got left tackle.
Okay.
You might even put a running back on the same
It's
level.
crazy because a couple years ago it was the cornerback. The cornerback was like
Cornerbacks make
The top 11 are quarterbacks. Next
11.
is Khalil Mack, edge
DN.
DN outside line. Then quarterback. Then D line. More quarterback. DN. Quarterback. DN. Quarterback. It's basically D line, quarterbacks, and
Just
one
quarterback.
receiver.
one receiver.
Odell.
really. I'm surprised by that. Really?
Nah, not me.
I can't believe there's no left tackles.
You don't
I
think
can't
Julio?
believe-
You wouldn't take Julio over Odell?
I'm
No.
taking-
The reason that it's not surprising to me is because he was in New York, huge market, right? Like Odell was everywhere, so marketing is a big deal.
Yeah,
it's just
okay.
like
you gotta play that.
yeah, you got to think about
I
people
get
putting
that.
their name out there.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like Josh Norman. Josh Norman is not as good as advertised. He never was.
Mm-hmm.
But Josh Norman made a big enough deal when he was with a Panther that I'm the best. Everybody else started to think, maybe he is the best. Washington was definitely like, oh, I guess he's the best, so let's pay him.
Washington does it every year.
Maybe they have a problem with that.
They do. Their owners just.
Maybe they are the best. Get them. Get that guy. He said he's the best. All you got to do is say it.
Hey,
All you got to
bro.
do is say you're the best. Josh Norman was nowhere near a shutdown corner. Not saying he's not.
He's good.
Yeah, he's definitely good. But
Right.
he's not top tier cornerback on no way, shape, or form.
So what about contracts? I mean, what's you had a big. You said before the show, I'm tired of contracts.
It's just to me, why is there so much emphasis on, oh, this person got paid 4 years, $250 million.
From a fan perspective.
Like, just go out there and play. I don't care.
The fans don't care.
I don't care. I guess that's what it is. I'm the mood that I'm in right now is I don't care how much money.
We live in an age of data. People want to know every stat about you, what your 40 is, what your vertical is, how much you
And that's
get
true.
But
paid
it doesn't even
to
matter
It
for
don't
the
matter.
most part.
It's
Yeah.
just
to
on my
talk.
nerves.
It's something to talk
It
about.
is something to talk about. It is something
and
that's
to think,
irrelevant.
and to think you can go, okay, we gave him 25. That means we got 15 left to go get a tight end, or like, people like to play GM in their head.
Yeah.
So knowing those figures helps them in their little fantasy world.
So as players, you guys, to put yourself in a player's shoes, how important is a long-term deal to you? How important is long-term deal versus how important is it to just make a couple $1 million? Which one would you, or is it they're both equally, or is there one that's more important than the other?
I do think that it's important to get paid, especially if you're a top tier player and you know that you're
Right.
like I always say, putting asses in the seats. But at the end of the day,
If you're at the top of the list in your position, you're basically saying.
and for me personally, it's for the love of the game. You know what I mean? Like, I'm cool with making millions of dollars. Don't get me wrong. I don't think
We would
I'm
not
good.
pass that up.
No, I'm good, right? But it's just like I love to play.
Right.
So that's kind of what I just want to do. I want the Kawhi factor. Just go in there, straight face, be like, yeah, I'm just out here
NBA
playing,
is
having fun.
so different.
He's
than
just
some-
saying
I'm just saying the mentality of it, though. It's just like we all grew up loving to play.
Right.
That's how we got into it. We just love to play. That's how most of these athletes get
We ain't
into
go outside and was like, man, I don't know. Like,
it.
how long am I going to be on your team?
Right,
Like,
yeah,
if
you know
you
what I
pick
mean?
me to play flag football,
Like, are we going to be out here for 6 games?
Because I need
or
to
5? Because I need 5.
I want to at least lock in for 5 games. At least lock me in for 5 games.
You know what I mean? But it's just, for me, it would be the love of the game. It's just like, yeah, the money is cool, but you also want to showcase your skills for the most part to everybody. I want to be the best.
Yeah, you should go into anything wanting to be the best,
Right.
especially if it's something that has to do with sports. But at the
I
same
want
time,
to be the best.
you
know what I
that
mean?
might have to do with sports too. I don't know. Well, I would say.
long distance peeing.
What about you, Lenny? Like, what would you,
If I'm
How-
thinking
how you feel
logically, I want NBA or NFL contract. I mean, NBA or NHL contracts. I want a long-term, guaranteed. You're invested in me.
so
want an MLB
that no matter what happens, you straight.
yeah,
But you can still get, like, I guess in my mind, if I was to sign a contract with the NFL for, let's say, 4 years, 45, something like that,
and only
45,
20 guaranteed.
20
All right.
guaranteed. I'm 100% okay with $20
You're
million.
you're loving the idea that you got $20
I
million,
got
potentially
$20
$40.
million.
But wouldn't you, as again, you have a window of this much, and you know you're worth this much, go, why is it not guaranteed all the way? So no matter what, I got my $40 million. If I blow my knee out, trying to win a game for you as the owner.
I got $20 million.
So?
What you mean?
I want oh my God, we need cameras because I want everybody to see what Dave just did. He got so upset, man.
It wasn't upset.
It's like,
I'm
dude,
trying to understand.
how gready do you need to be is the question.
It's
not
$20
greed.
million.
It's not greedy.
Greed, to me, greed is like what Terrell Owens pulled with forcing his hand to get out of San Francisco to go to Baltimore to pull back to go to the Phillies, get a new deal, and in the next year complain about the deal he just signed. Next year.
Okay. How is that any different from just trying to guarantee yourself more money?
It should be, in my opinion, but the way he went about it and
so there's different ways to go about getting more money.
Well, so if you know anything about
way
it,
versus-
if you know anything about NFL contract, usually it's the first 2 or 3 years where you get all your guaranteed money. They pack it all right away.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So he had his guarantee for several years, and he complained the next year. That's like it's just a different perspective of you can tell he's a greedy jerk
and certain. So
you know
that's
what I mean.
How do you
It's hard to
separate
explain
it?
it, but
I get
it's
that.
different.
No. I mean, we get what you're saying. So it's almost like, how do you separate the greedy player from the player who's getting, who feels
If
like
the NFL would
getting-
just
who's
meet them
getting
more in
jerked,
the middle,
right?
most of this talk probably goes the fuck away,
Yeah, I guess so.
and they can afford it.
I
They
mean,
can afford it. I will say that they can afford it.
And the contracts are insured. I mean, now their insurance bill will go below it. But if a player blows his knee out and say I'm out for a whole year, they insure the player's contracts.
just talking from my own perspective. If I'm about to sign my 4-year, $45 million deal and 20 is guaranteed, and I blow my knee out, first of all, I knew this game had a potential of, put me in a spot where my knee's gonna get blown out, something gonna happen. I got $20 million guaranteed, and let's add this part to it. Let's say I was just coming off of a contract where, like my rookie contract. Let's say I was coming off of a rookie contract. You know what I mean? Now I'm like, oh, I got $20 million guaranteed, far more than I was making before. You know what I mean? I'm just thinking like, where's that mentality at? That's all I'm saying.
And you got to think of it from the owner's
And I'm not
perspective.
trying to say nothing afraid from players who aren't getting paid what they're worth. There are certain players who like, I'm killing it. Y'all need to pay me XYZ because I've proven myself.
Right.
I'm not taking nothing away from that. If you have an argument to argue that, if you have stats to back you, you go, you know what I mean? You take that argument and you don't back down. You know what I mean? But don't sit here and be like.
It's just like any other job though. So right now, like if you got a person that's, for some reason a nurse or whatever the case, whatever your profession is, and then you get into some type of accident, now you can't do that job anymore. Why?
Did you get hurt in the hospital or did you get hurt
regardless
chasing your nephews down the street?
Regardless.
No, it's not.
If it's guaranteed, like I'm just saying, if you can't do that job anymore, why would the owner, as the owner or as an employer,
because it
continue
depends.
to pay you if you can't provide the service that he or she needs?
If you're talking about an injury, if you get injured blowing your knee out running a route, that's on the job.
Okay.
Again,
okay, let's just take that. So you blow your knee out playing football, doing what you're supposed to do. Now you can't do that anymore, right?
Okay.
Why would I continue to pay you if you can't do what I need you to do anymore?
Because it's that risk
You're
reward.
already getting this guarantee part of it.
It's that
Why
risk
do you
reward.
want more if you still can't provide the service that I'm trying to provide to these people? You know what I'm saying? From an owner's perspective.
So because you're trying to show, what's the word, like loyalty and respect to these guys that are putting their bodies out there.
It's not about loyalty, though.
Sure it is.
No, not for them.
So
not for owners.
So the owners don't have to have any loyalty, any respect.
No.
but the
I'm not
players
saying they
do.
don't have to or they shouldn't. I'm just saying they don't. Like
that's the problem.
Their job is to make as much money as possible.
And
That's
so,
the only reason they're there.
So you as a
Build a
player,
product.
you're your own business in a way.
Okay.
Your job to yourself is to guarantee yourself the most money you can make.
Right, but in
Same
the
scenario.
meantime, are you hurting yourself by saying, I'm not doing that? I'm not playing. I'm not coming to practice. I'm not going to OTAs. I'm not doing any of that.
Le'Veon
Until
Bell's
you pay
the
me.
only one who took it that far.
Right.
I'm just saying, regardless of how far he took it. Like, if are you hurting yourself more if you say, I'm not playing until you pay me what I feel as though you're supposed to pay me. Because at the end of again, you're already guaranteed a certain amount of money, which ain't no punk ass shit. You know what I mean? So, so at the end of the day, it's like, all right, I'm getting $20 million, but I want 40.
I need 45.
And if you don't give me that, I'm not playing. They gonna look at you like, all right, well.
That's how some
of them, most of them
will look at
most
you.
of them.
But if you make a big enough fuss and you're a big name,
you
get
right?
what you want somehow.
I guarantee you, if Tom Brady did that, they'd be like, all right, come on.
NBA talk about the NBA Finals.
It's a lot.
And they're fully guaranteed contracts.
Some leagues got to get it together, Lenny.
And if anybody want to weigh in, give us a call, 302-408-0604. Let us know what you think. Let us know if you think we're full of shit. We will hang up on you.
We definitely will hang up on you.
Quick.
Call you a loser.
Call back here. Did he call back? Don't talk like that.
So I got a couple things to say about these finals.
Go ahead.
First of all, everybody's everybody has heard of the situation where this guy who's part owner of the I guess is the Warriors.
He was investor. Warriors investor.
Yeah, 59-year-old venture capitalist. I'm sorry, Mark Stevens. Okay, he shoved Kyle Lowry when Kyle Lowry fell in the stand.
Yes, he should.
No, he shouldn't. Kyle Lowry went and dove for a loose ball. 2 seats over, roughly 2.5. Okay,
you had to give the
distance. Because I just want to put this in perspective. It's not like Kyle Lowry fell on Mark Stevens. He fell 2.5 seats over.
He reached over to
Mark Stevens decides to reach over 2.5 seats. And shove Kyle Lowry out the way. This is this big deal. The NBA was like, hey, we're gonna set this thing straight and all that. Just to put this in perspective, he's banned from all Oracle games from now on.
For a year.
For a year.
Yeah.
Now let's before we go any further.
Well, this is the last game at the Oracle.
Exactly my point. Exactly my point. But at the time, it was 2 games left. So,
but does that mean literally like a full calendar year?
No, it means at the Oracle. They're moving to San Francisco next year. So he literally got 2 games suspension.
So we don't know the intricacies of
the actual suspension.
No, I'm telling you what what is that? Like, no, y'all messing me up. Hold on, because this is bogus to me.
All right, go ahead,
okay?
keep going.
So he's literally quote unquote suspended from the Oracle for a year from the Oracle specifically
because they're about to
because they're about to move. The last game at this stadium
was last night.
It was almost last night, and it's Thursday.
Oh no, that was in Toronto last night.
Yeah, it's on Thursday. That's the last game. He can't go to that game. He was fined $500,000.
Yeah.
So let's put that in perspective.
Okay.
The guy is worth $2.3 billion.
How much of a stake does he
Ready? So I'm reading right there. $500,000 fine represents to him 0.0002% of his net worth.
Now listen, I did the math on this. Okay.
All right.
Let's just put this in perspective of you make $100,000 or you're worth $100,000 a year. That's $200.
No.
It's $2,100. $2,100 to him.
If you're worth $100,000.
If you're worth $100,000, that's the comparison of how much he had to pay. Now, to put it more in perspective, okay? Because this shit drove me crazy.
All right.
Ben Wallace, remember the
Malice in Bin Laden?
Remember the Malice in the Palace?
Yeah.
Ben Wallace, who didn't go in the stands, he just had the altercation with ORTIZ and all that stuff.
He pushed him.
Right. $400,000. $400,000.
Okay.
Jermaine O'Neal, he got suspended for the rest of the season and 15 games of the next season. $4.1 million.
What?
Yeah.
Well, that was his game checks.
Right. $4.1 million. Steven Jackson, 30 games, $1.7 million.
He went into the stands.
Provoked, mind you. Okay?
Remember, he was hitting the guy that didn't. He was like, that wasn't me.
Right.
He just started wailing.
Ron Artest. Ron Artest got suspended for an entire season and 13 games of playoffs. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
$5 million.
I bet you he had savings.
Right. I would hope.
With those guaranteed contracts.
But that's just
Liddy was like, guaranteed.
But that's just to put it in perspective. $4 million for Jermaine O'Neal. $400,000 for Ben Wallace, who didn't even get into an altercation with a fan at all.
Mm-hmm.
This guy gets to put his hands on Kyle Lowry for no reason whatsoever. It's not like he fell on him and he's trying to push him off him. He just pushed him and then started just like cussing at him or something like that. Now you can, I agree, you could probably cuss at NBA players about their game or whatever.
Not about their wives.
Not about their wives and their
Or
mom
their
and all
race
that
or
stuff.
whatever.
Yeah, you know
Talking
what I
about
mean?
Russ.
Right. You
Earlier
can't
in
say
the
stuff
season.
like that. But you should be able to say stuff to the players and all that. But you can't put your hands on them.
Mm-hmm.
Now, say if Kyle Lowry would have reacted and punched the shit out of the dude.
He would have been out of
The finals would have been over
for him,
right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He probably would have got suspended, a major fine, a couple $1 million. But because this guy is part owner of the Warriors, like I just don't understand how Adam Silver
It's
just
well,
like-
I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, you know, you're a citizen, but you're not the level of citizen that me and you are.
Which is bullshit.
If me and you did that,
we would be done.
it's over.
You can't come to the new
You ain't coming to
stadium or anything.
nobody's stadium, right.
You're not this stadium, not the next stadium, or the one after
But if
that.
you Drake,
you're done. But if you
can
Drake,
walk up to the
that,
to
and
the-
that's my other question.
You
If
can walk
Drake-
up to the coach. You can
and
give him
put
a
your hand-
little
right.
massage
Right,
if
exactly.
you want it. You
Now
can
let's
grab
say
his
Drake
ass
would
a
have
little
did that
bit.
to like Steph Curry or something
got
like that.
nice
Would have
ass.
shoved him.
All right, well, yeah.
Let's say Drake would have did. Do you think the same? Like what do you think would have happened
If Drake shoved
Steph Curry?
Steph Curry?
Yeah, in
well,
Toronto.
Steph is kind of like sort of one of the faces of the league. That
That should
wouldn't have
be
went over well.
irrelevant with
Doesn't matter.
what happened.
No. I agree with you. But let's put it. I'm just putting it in the perspective of this business that we're talking about, the NBA. Steph is one of the major players in the game.
Okay.
If Steph shoves him,
No. Drake's.
or I mean,
Steph.
if Drake shoves
Yeah.
him, that's a huge deal. But we are talking about Drake. So
See, that's bullshit.
No, I agree with you.
Yeah.
But this is real life. We talk this is real
Right.
stuff.
Okay.
This shit. We know that Drake ain't gonna be. If you shove Steph, they gonna carry you out with your arm behind your
Oh,
back.
yeah.
Yeah. Immediately.
It might be 4 guys who all got your leg and your arm. You gonna
Carry
be
me
face
out.
down,
Right.
and they gonna toss
With
you
Probably
a
beat my
taser
ass
in your
the
butt.
back.
like
Yeah.
Eddie Murphy.
Right.
They gonna toss you out the window.
But if Drake do it, or
Drake
if you're
do
a
it,
high profile, or if you part owner
they gonna
of
say
the
you got to
Warriors,
go into the box.
Yeah.
That's all they gonna do.
If you part owner of the Warriors, apparently you can hit players.
So I bet you if that guy really wanted to get in there, he can be in the box. They gonna put him in the box. How you gonna know he there or not? How you gonna know?
Just hope the camera
To
doesn't
me,
pan up.
yeah, I was
to
gonna say, just hope the cameras don't see it.
How
That's
you
all.
gonna know? Sit back there.
Yeah,
Don't
just hang out. Don't
hang
make
out.
it-
Don't be
come
going.
come into the stadium before
Yeah.
and after the game, like
Right.
when there's no
Ain't
not a
nothing-
crowd.
ain't no what stop. Ain't no,
It's
nobody
crazy.
would know if he
It's
if
crazy,
he was
but
in and out.
see,
But it's a shame. It's just the idea of this is a society that we live in. We are all tiered up. You know,
Yeah.
certain tiers get treated a certain way.
Right. And
You know what I
apparently,
mean?
if you make a couple $1 billion, you could put your hands on players.
Apparently, you could push them if you want because it's like, and that goes to a whole nother level.
Right.
That goes to I got all this money. Money equals power. I can do what I want.
Right.
The same reason Drake does XYZ. The same reason this investor does what he does. Everybody, you know, money makes things move. I got enough of it. Whatever. I don't need. You know what I mean? I moved to my own rules at this point.
Kyle should have slapped him. But then you can't risk the finals.
Well, yeah.
You know what I mean?
He
So
did
it's-
play
He did the right
He
thing.
did the
He
right
played it
thing
right.
as a player and as, you know, somebody who's should win the finals. You know, I think he did the right thing. But if I was a teammate,
What
or
game was
something
that?
like
Game 3?
Game, what's this?
Yeah, it was three.
Game
Three was
yeah.
the first one there.
If I was a teammate or something, I'd have ran over there and slapped the shit out of the ball.
Yeah, that was game.
Just
3.
because. I ain't playing anyway.
Kyle,
Whatever.
Lowry should have went to some like the 16th guy in the bench. Like, y'all drop you a million.
Yeah,
just
exactly.
smack
At the end of the game, when we win this game, go just run over there, like throw the ball out of bounds on purpose and just hit the shit out
Oh,
of
that would be nuts.
him. You know what I mean?
Like, my bad.
My bad, man. I ain't mean to put
He
my
threw his
shoulder
body
in your
on
mouth.
me. Right.
You know, I ain't mean to put my elbow in your throat like that. My
Game
bad.
3, that was the game with no Clay,
Yeah,
which was huge
yeah.
because Steph was the only scorer on the
What
court.
he had 50? No,
47.
47, I think.
Yeah,
Only scorer on the court.
He didn't have any help that game.
No help.
And then he shot his load because the next game he was done.
You can tell now that he spent.
Yeah.
Steph, he worn out, man.
But he is. I would say he. If they do win, he will be the MVP because he's carrying them, and a lot of people didn't think he could carry.
It puts it in perspective.
It does.
I don't get that. He won without KD. How can you say he can't?
They won without KD, but it wasn't a thing where you could say Steph had carried them through the finals like he's doing now. He literally
like
is
that
carrying.
year the 1 year that they won, Iggy had the MVP.
All right, that was because he was defending LeBron.
Right, and
he actually could shoot.
and he was actually scoring a lot.
But it was still Curry's team.
Yeah, well, I mean, it could be your team, but that doesn't mean that
the
you
offense
were
still
them.
ran completely through him, and it was the highest scoring offense we've seen at the
I
time.
wouldn't say that. They had a better host of characters.
Who?
What do you mean? They still had Clay.
Okay,
They
and
still
Clay.
had Draymond. At that point, they had Leandro Barbosa. They had
None of them are the focal point.
Spates.
Spates. None of them are the focal point of the offense. He was the focal. He's what made that offense go. He's what started that trend and made the Golden State offense what it is today, which is now the trend of the whole NBA.
Yeah, I would agree with that. But I think it's
People aren't respecting him out there for that. Just because KD joined him, he loses all of his respect.
Well, I think a lot of
It wasn't. I don't think it
wasn't
lost.
because of
I
KD.
don't
I
think it was
do.
a lost respect though. I think it was, Steph is able to catch fire. He can score 50 if he want, but he ain't the caliber of player that's going to carry a team. But now we know
he can.
He carried that.
But he's already done it. That's what I
He
don't
has
get.
it, not to this level though. I don't think he's done it to this level. To this
They won it.
magnitude.
He has to. No, Lenny. But see, here's the thing. He can go out and he'll still add. Like when he won it before KD got there, he was averaging probably 26, 27. But then you had Clay who was averaging 25. Draymond was averaging triple-double. Iguodala was averaging 20. They had multiple ways to score the ball, as they do now with KD. But when it comes down to it, if he wants to go out there and put up 45 points a game, we know he can definitely do that now. You know what I mean? And I guess some people still doubted him, but he's definitely carrying his team if they do happen to win, which it's a chance.
What year did they win it all? 2012, the first time.
Talking about Golden State.
Yeah.
Was it 7? It wasn't 7 years ago. It was what, 5 years ago?
Did they win the
think it
first
was
time or
15.
lose the first time?
I'm pretty sure they won the first time.
Yeah, they won the first time. Second time they lost to LeBron. Third time they won. Right? Because Steph got 3.
Steph
got 3. Steph and Clay.
They
both
won.
got 3,
Didn't they
right?
win back to back?
Yeah, here
Yeah,
it is. Hold on.
because it will be 3 in a row this
Yeah,
year.
they won back to back.
Yeah. But sticking with the Warriors. How do you guys? Goodness, man, this makes me sad. How do you guys feel about KD and that injury, as far as the team rushing him back, or him making a decision to play at this last minute?
That was completely and utterly mishandled.
Yeah.
Everybody
By
knows.
who?
I think all the above. KD wanted to play, I would imagine.
Okay.
Obviously, you lose the championship this game 5 if he don't play. So, front office wanted him to play. Players wanted him to play. So I think everybody knew it was too soon. But it's like you're gonna do what it takes to win as a competitor. Everybody's like, look, we need you to come back.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think this is why players don't trust. One of the reasons why players don't trust team doctors is because they're there for the team. You know what I mean? And the team wants you to play.
Kevin knew though.
Kevin knew.
He knew he
But
wasn't ready.
When you're his age, right, and when you're trying to prove to everybody, like Kevin goes on Twitter and
Defends himself.
He's already in that mode of I got to prove myself that I am one of the best players. You know what I mean? So when you're hearing all this stuff in the background, people saying, well, he's not going to play and they're much better without him and he's going to wait till the last second to try to be the savior and all this other stuff. Like that stuff gets to you, I think. And then, you are feeling that somewhat pressure to kind of return and try to. He does want to play. And he did want to come and help his team. And I think they needed it. I think they needed that little jolt that he did give him before he got injured. because I don't think they would have won without it.
True.
But now it's like at what cost?
Right.
Because you have, and I don't care what anybody says. I don't need to be a doctor to know that he has a torn Achilles. Okay, that
was the rumor from when he went down.
When
He
he
had
went
an
down the
Achilles
first time.
issue,
Right.
and not just a calf issue.
It's not a calf. When you have a calf injury, you grab your calf. You don't grab right above your ankle.
You saw where he grabbed.
Everybody saw where he grabbed.
Did you see?
They put ice on his Achilles.
Did you see it pop before he made the dribble move?
The
You saw it
yeah.
in the replay.
Right.
You could see it.
And that's what I'm saying. Like it's pretty gross, Jeezy. But I mean, we knew that this was at what cost are you going to try to win this? I get that you want to play. I get that you feeling the pressure and that you listening to team doctors saying, "Oh, you could play. You could." You can't hurt it anymore, which is bullshit because you can hurt it more. Mm-hmm. But it's like now you have this Achilles injury. By the time you do, and rehab is much better, surgeries are much better, but it's still a year process to come back from an Achilles injury and be close to 100%. It's still a year. So by the time you can't play no more this year, you still got to wait another year to fully recover. Mm-hmm. Then you come back, you're now 33 years old. If you're KD, you only got how many years left? You only got how many years
all
left?
All 32 million guaranteed next year.
I know, but he got other shit. He got endorsements and stuff like that, so he's good either way. But now you only have how many years of prime basketball left? And was it worth you?
Was it worth a quarter and a half?
If I'm another team, I'm terrified of giving him a super contract.
And that's my problem.
He sits for a year. He's a free agent. Mm-hmm. So like Mike said, he's going to be 33 when he's a free agent, or 34?
33.
That's already getting a little old. Mm-hmm. You're going to give this dude $200 million for 4 years,
and you don't know how his output's going to be coming off that
injury. So here's the thing: of like notable players recently have suffered a torn Achilles. I wish after this we should look and maybe we'll like revise it next week when we talk. We should look at these names, see what they did after the fact, right? Mm-hmm. Elton Brand in 2007.
Trash.
Chauncey Billups, 2012. So did he do anything? I don't know. And how old were they at that point? Which is another thing. Maybe it's already in the 30s.
He already won the chip.
Right. He already won the chip.
Kobe Bryant in 2013.
I remember Kobe.
He didn't after that.
Wesley Matthews in 2015. And Rudy Gay 2 years ago. And DeMarcus Cousins last year.
Yeah. He about to win a championship.
Who?
No. But did they return back to the same form?
No. None of them did. None of them.
We'd have to look.
Kobe, no.
We'd have to let me pull it up. That was 2013.
But that's you see my point, like exactly what Lenny
probably
said.
Fucked.
Exactly what
if
Lenny
I'm a
said.
team, I'm
if he's
terrified.
a GM or if he's a manager or owner of a team, how do you possibly? And they're probably still going to pay KD. Don't get me wrong. Like 80% KD is better than 90% of the league, right?
True.
But do you really want to risk all that money? Because New York is big on KD. New York's like, we'll give you anything you want at this point. But
it makes sense now.
Now, with this Achilles injury, it's like, wow.
It makes sense now to go there.
Kobe only played 90 games in the next 2 seasons after the Achilles.
Like,
and then he retired.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't. Like,
I mean, granted,
Achilles is a big deal.
How old was he when he retired?
And you're talking about being 33 years old. Most basketball players, especially now because they're retiring younger and all that, Kevin Durant will probably play until he's 36, 37.
Probably.
You know what I mean? He's not going to play into his 40s. He has no reason
to play that long.
Right? Mm-hmm. So that means you have roughly 2.5, 3 years of prime basketball, maybe. And then you're not even guaranteed to win a championship because you're supposed to be going to a team to build your team so that you can eventually win.
He should just stay put. He should just ask
his
Golden State to work at him with like a 2-year.
Golden State has to pay. They have to pay Clay.
To resign a player, you can go over to Cap, and then maybe they can go, look, stay here, play out with Clay and Steph, try to win another one. Here's $40 million for 2 more years on top of your 32 you're getting for not playing at all.
Right.
I'm not. If I'm him, no way. Now I'm going to New York at 33 off an Achilles.
It sucks because you know he was rushed. Mm-hmm. You know he was, regardless of if he wanted to play or not. We know we knew it was an Achilles injury.
It was a rushed situation,
Yeah.
but I don't think he was rushed. I think he helped make that decision.
Well, it was the
The,
same.
the team doctor should dictate that. The doctors should be able to for sure say, if you go out there, you are at no additional risk of causing a major issue. Right? Obviously, there's always a risk you get hurt no matter what, even if you're healthy. So you can't say there's no risk. You got to say there's no additional risk to your lingering issue right now is going to increase the chance you're going to get seriously hurt. Without that, you shouldn't be fucking on the court.
But they did the same thing to Kawhi in San Antonio, which is why he left San Antonio. One of the reasons he left San Antonio, because Kawhi
It does bring it into a little more light, doesn't it?
You know what I'm saying? Because he had not the same.
He
injury,
said he
but
didn't feel right. And he was
said
not
he
playing.
did not feel right, and the team was like, "Yo, why you not playing? Like, we cleared you. We said you were all right to go. Like, what's the deal? Why you holding out?"
Right.
And that's what caused him to be traded to Toronto, because he was like, "Nah." He just stuck to it. He's like, "I don't feel good. This doesn't seem right. I want my own doctor to look at it." And they wasn't feeling it. San Antonio was like, "No, you can't do that. Go on."
All right, well,
And now look, you know what I mean, and it paid off for him. But KD
That's very
who's
interesting.
a big time player, Now you sitting there and you like, you could possibly be screwed. Not screwed because you're still going to get paid, right?
he ain't gonna be paid what he was.
He's not going to get paid what he was. He's not coming off an Achilles.
He might get a team desperate enough, like the Knicks.
Like the Knicks, right? That's
Or
what I'm
something.
saying. They'll
But-
give you
That's
money
why I said that would make the most
But
sense.
I feel
if
like
you're going for money.
ready, and I feel like in that scenario with who the Knicks have been for 20 years, who they currently have on their roster, and coming off of an injury, and you're going to be one of their 2 or 3 max players they're going to get, is destined to be a fuck up.
Yeah,
It's
I
destined
agree.
to be
I wouldn't
middling and average, just like Carmelo did
I
when he went
wouldn't
there.
go to
at
New
his
York
prime.
to save my life if I was any All-Star or any superstar. I
No.
wouldn't. 'Cause
But
it's
for the
good-
money,
If,
it
well,
makes
if
sense.
KD was
For the
healthy,
money.
if KD was injury free after this, and he opted out of his contract because he can do, and he went this year with someone else big, and they kept those 2 young guys they got. At least you could go, okay, I'm in my prime still. I'm injury free. I got some good young help. Hopefully another max contract.
another
At least that's like
superstar.
okay, that makes sense. But now you have to wait a year. It's a year older.
Right.
Another
and
injury,
That's a year without basketball.
and off of an injury that you don't always heal right from.
Right. Exactly.
You're not going there to be the savior anymore. And that's now you're a question mark.
Right. Exactly.
It's a
And
shame.
It's messed up, man. It's messed up.
But it's guaranteed.
But Golden State, I will say, this is the last thing I'll say. They needed that. What did he have? 13 points
I thought it was
before-
16.
before he went out.
Was it
Something around there. It was in the
something like
teens.
that, yeah.
But they needed that. He was 3 for 3 from 3. I can say that fast. He was 3 from 3 for 3. And,
squared.
they needed that jolt for them to kind of build their confidence. And then once they seen him go down, they
rallied.
held it together. They
All
rocked.
right, so let's switch the conversation up as to did Toronto throw away the game or did Golden State win the game?
No. I think no. So here's the thing, that fourth quarter when they went up by 6 or 7,
6.
Kawhi had just hit a 3,
He hit a 3.
And that
he
pull-up.
and had that pull up jump shot. So he was in that mode of I'm about to put this away because I know what the moment is. But to give Golden State credit,
They hit big threes.
they hit major. Clay and
Clay and
Steph,
Steph hit big threes.
the best shooting backcourt I've ever seen in my life. They just went to town.
They hit
They
big
threw it all.
threes.
They threw it all on the line, and they came through.
and that the last possession of the
And
game.
Draymond.
I want to bring that up.
The last possession of the game was probably the best defense that they played.
Well,
Steph
because you
that
have to double Kawhi at that point, right? You can't let him win the game.
And I wanted to bring it up. So they got the ball back, right? They're down 1. How much time was left? 10, 12 seconds,
it was
right?
like 13 seconds.
All right.
Who
So
had the ball
that's
back?
Right.
when the Raptors got the
when the
ball in
Raptors.
the
Okay.
half court, right?
Yeah.
So they had 13 seconds to run a half court
Roughly.
set.
Yeah.
They to me had no plan on what they wanted to do in that
There
scenario.
was one plan.
The plan is to give the ball to Kawhi. When
That's
was
not
one plan.
Was that the team?
He was dribbling the ball.
So let
out.
me ask you this: I really like Nurse as a coach. Was
Okay.
that him not having his players prepare for that scenario, which you should practice all the time?
No,
Tell 'em.
Or did the players panic and go, "I don't want the final shot"?
No.
That
Dude.
was give me the white. Give me the board. Kawhi.
That's exactly what it is.
That's bad coaching.
That's not bad coaching. Why would you not want the ball in your best player's hands?
Because you have to prepare. If they send a double, you got to know like what you're doing.
That's what they did, and then they
so they sent a double all the way out to the 3, and your best move was to swing it around the corner.
He had a wide open shot.
Nobody's getting to the rim.
Not Kawhi. Kyle Lowry had a wide open shot.
Draymond just blocked. You don't have Siakam diving in for a slash where you can get probably foul on a layup.
You have 2 great defenders that's already on you, so it's not like you could just throw the ball anywhere you want to throw it.
When he tossed it over, I don't know who the middleman between him and Lowry was. Was it Danny Green? All right, whoever.
All right, whoever.
So you don't have anyone on that backside cutting in, right?
By that time they were already rotating.
You have 5 guys. That's only 4.
I understand.
There should be a 5th guy over here.
They were already rotating though. Everybody, you got to picture like everybody was already out of Kawhi's way,
but not Danny's, because Danny's supposed to be like this. He don't have the ball. He should know where everybody is.
So when the ball swung to him, Draymond closed out fast.
Yeah,
he's a 2-3. He can't put the ball down once or twice and pass it. All of a sudden, Draymond's like fucking Gary Payton on steroids.
Got to get a shot up though, because Kawhi already dribbled the clock.
He was dribbling the ball out to take the last shot.
That's like saying, no, we're not going to give Kobe the ball at the end of the game, or Michael Jordan the ball at the end of the game.
But I'll tell you what, Phil would have drawn it up where Kobe got the ball on like the elbow on a one-on-one.
Nope.
He wouldn't just.
You know why they wouldn't have had that? Because Mike and Kobe would have shot the ball. That's why.
It's going to happen.
It's going to happen regardless of who's on you. Mike and Kobe are going to shoot that joint. Kawhi's not that type of guy. And he's not trying to be a savior. He's trying to make the right play, and he did.
So when the clock was running, ball swung.
So I gotta watch it closer.
There was no more time to actually put down the ball on the floor.
Right, you had to throw it up.
You had to look for an open shot. Because even when Kyle shot the 3, the buzzer went off while the ball was in the air.
Right.
So it wasn't much time left.
Yeah.
And I think you were saying, a guy from the job was saying that Draymond got a piece of the ball.
Yeah. Yeah, he did. I mean, it was, because it was way off.
Yeah, that's why I was like, how?
It was like backboard off.
He had a piece of the ball.
But I mean, they have a legitimate chance to win, to at least take it to Game 7, I should say.
They have a chance
because KD's not coming back, right? So you have, and the crazy thing is, who actually gave him a real good, solid 15, 20 minutes was Looney. And he has a fractured.
You can see him grimace.
Yeah, he got a fractured collarbone, I think it is. So he's playing through that. DeMarcus, you could tell he's out of shape or out of basketball.
He's trying.
But he's trying.
He's
you know what I mean? Ball. But going back to Oracle is a good thing.
I mean,
I will say that.
Switching back to Toronto, I think they gave the game away. I mean, I think. You got to live with some of those threes that they made, but I think, and somebody brought this up, the timeout that kind of stopped the whole.
Yeah. Toronto had just scored like 3 buckets, and then he was like, "Timeout! I'm trying to rally you guys."
Yeah. It was like this random timeout that made no sense.
Yeah.
So
that was
I just feel like it was more Toronto let their foot off the gas. Versus Golden State actually winning the game, in my opinion.
Somebody said that they felt bad for KD, so they just kind of.
Nah,
and I was like, no.
Nah, Kawhi did not feel bad.
Not at all.
I mean, he did at the press conference, but
yeah, during the game, he's like,
he was shooting their lights out.
Yeah,
he caught fire.
Kawhi, man, he's one of those workers that just was like, I'm not. He was always a good defensive player, a good rebounder. But he actually worked on his game and became what he is now. So I can definitely respect that.
So moving to Game 6, how do you see it playing out?
I think it'll be a crazy crowd, and I think it'll help them a little bit. I still think it'll be a close game, but I do think the Raptors pull it out by like maybe 2 or 3 points.
I think Steph, if Golden State's going to win, Steph got to shoot better. To me, he hasn't had that great of a series shooting percentage wise. You know what I mean? If he's his
blasphemy.
How? Look at the games that they've lost. Like, he's not shooting the greatest shooting percentage. I mean, no, the 47-point game, he shot great.
Okay.
Game after that, he didn't shoot that well. Last night, he didn't shoot that well. He scored points still.
Yeah.
But he didn't shoot well. And for them to score like they normally score, he has to shoot well. Like, he got to play better.
Well, I think between the two of them, they shot 15 for 30 from 3.
Yo, last night they shot great from 3.
Yeah. So it was like 50%.
You sure that wasn't more Clay than Steph?
I'll pull it up, yeah.
Because you just be spewing shit out
Clay
your
is
mouth,
a far
dude.
better player and shooter.
There you go.
That's like,
See, you can't just have a good show. You always gotta say something. Like before the show, everybody.
As
You
a
gonna tell
team,
us
they
something.
were 20 for 42. Steph was 5 for 14, so it's decent. Not great,
not the greatest.
but it wasn't like
Yeah. I think Clay's was a little
Clay
bit
was
better.
7 for 13.
Yeah.
Yeah. So but you have to put up those shots in order to, you know what I mean, in order for you to have a chance.
I mean,
'Cause-
Steph has set his own bar to how well he shoots.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So to me, for anybody else, that's cool.
Right.
But for him, that's not that
you
great.
expect more, which
You know
is
what I mean?
crazy.
So
Which is crazy.
I feel like I think he's just tired, man. I think he's super tired.
I mean, he's still shooting a good percentage from the free throw line, and give him
that's-
credit. He's like 94% from the free throw line this series, and he has been getting to the line.
I
which
think
is surprising.
The defense that they're throwing at him has him tired out.
Well,
Van Vliet is
Vliet's
chasing
making
him
Van Vliet, yeah.
around,
Yeah.
and he's tired.
Yeah.
He's dribbling the ball all crazy. He never had a problem dribbling the ball. Never. So I don't know. I mean, so Lenny, what do you think? What's your take on
Game 6.
Yeah.
If the Raptors' legs are there, but they're shooting better than 20% from 3, I give it to the Raptors. So
Right.
I think
in Oracle.
I think if they're hitting their jump shots, the uncontested ones that they like every other game they're freaking missing uncontested jump shots.
Right.
If they're dropping, they win.
So basically, Danny Green got a.
Lowry, Fleet, hitting
I always
those
say when Lowry
uncontested looks.
scores 20,
Yeah.
they win.
Well, it's funny they say that his stats on the road are way better than at home. He likes when the crowd's booing him and this.
I
and that.
tell you what, man. Like, I wasn't a fan for the
Lowry.
last few years because it
Well,
just
because
seems
he's
like
he's a tough player.
he plays great, man. Like
He does,
he
but
puts
it
on
was
the line.
a thing where they called him playoff Lowry, where regular season he's like a James Harden type of player. He's great, and then when you get to the playoffs, he's like hiding in the corner some damn where.
Well, he ain't
but
been
these
doing that
last couple years, last 2 years, I would say he's been playing pretty good.
He has been playing very good.
He's not a guy that
Weirdo.
he's not a guy made to carry a team. He's a good player, an all-star player that can set up the offense, set up the defense, but he's not your go-to scorer.
Right.
He can score, he's not a go-to scorer, but he runs the offense well, he sets up the defense well, takes charges, rebounds. He does a little bit of everything well.
But when he has an average game, they don't win. If you notice that.
Wait,
They have a hard time winning.
Him and Gasol are option 2A, 2B, but neither one of them are like a real go-to, unlike when you got in Golden State, you got 3 options that are go-to. So that's why they were able to run at Kawhi. I mean, run at Kawhi there.
Yeah.
They weren't really scared of anyone else. You can't do that at Golden State.
They still have it, and they said the MRI, going back to Kevin Durant, they said the
gonna do
MRI was supposed to be today. They still haven't. I think they just don't want to let people know that he has a popped Achilles.
They're flying him to some specials in New York City
It's
now.
popped. It's gone.
We saw it.
We saw
Watch
it.
the replay.
We saw it. His whole entire leg. You could see the damn thing go
Yep.
right up his leg.
Literally
look
saw
that
it.
close.
You
And he
literally
does
saw
that.
it.
He did exactly what every other person or player or whoever that they do when they
Grab.
Achilles pop. They grab or they look back like somebody kicked them, and they can't find whatever just happened. That's what everybody does when they pop their Achilles. It's done.
Saw it happen. Oh, you know the one thing we didn't bring up? David Ortiz.
Oh man, don't go to Dominican Republic, anybody.
Why are we going
That's
to
what I'm
end on
trying to tell
such a
you.
bad note?
Yo, like
We're not
no,
ending on
seriously.
bad note, but we gotta at least
I know.
we gotta at least address it.
He got shot in the back.
They're saying by a licensed
It was a
contract.
hitman.
Hitman.
Yo,
In the Dominican.
and the Dominican, it's this whole it's this resort where these couples just keep dying.
Or getting beat or
the
getting
one
beat up
chick
and
that got beat
poisoned.
up though, they saying she staged that.
Nah,
That's what
I
they
don't
said.
know,
Yo,
dude.
there's like 7 different couples now coming out with stories from the same resort.
They all staged them.
Nah, dog. Don't go to the
don't know.
Dominican
Yeah.
Republic. I
I just came from Dominican Republic last year.
God bless you. You
Ain't
died.
nobody beat me.
Cuz they was like, he's light skinned. He
They thought I was Dominican. He belonged here.
Look at that, man.
But
Shot.
they just flew him to Boston to
Yeah.
have the specialist there, and they said he's now stable and aware now.
But
So-
they had to get rid of part of his intestine.
Really?
Part of his kidney, I think it
yeah, 'cause
was.
he got shot in the back.
Yeah. Part of his kidney, part of his intestine.
It was
and
like
it
a
was something else.
6-hour surgery. or
That's
something.
crazy, dude.
so did you?
I want to talk about.
Did you see
this
the
real
video?
quick. I saw the video. I want to
Oh
talk
my
about
gosh.
this. How you a hitman and you that bad at your job? Because
He was riding on a
literally
motorcycle.
had-
No, but he stopped
He
though.
stopped the bike.
He stopped
And
the
I'm not sitting
motorcycle.
here saying that he should. I'm just saying if you a hitman.
I'm just saying,
you
if I'm
got
saying,
one
I'm
job.
saying.
You got one job.
We not promoting this.
I'm not saying
We're not
that I don't
promoting
want Big
violence.
Poppy to die. I'm just saying
I'm not calling him Big Poppy.
he's a big pop.
So, did you hear what happened afterwards? The Dominican Republic people saw
they-
the shooter
they
after
beat his
they
ass.
whooped his ass.
Yo,
He's in
he-
intensive care.
yeah,
Nice.
they destroyed
That's what
him.
you should do.
They found out who it was.
If you're a hitman, I see enough movies. If you're a hitman,
You hide
they
for a
don't
while.
even know. You know what I mean? You
Yeah.
disappear.
You don't
to
go out to the
shadows.
club after you shot some big popular, like the hero of
He
the
literally
DR.
That's what I was
rode
gonna
up
say.
and went like this.
He literally is the hero of
He's-
the DR, and
He's not a small person.
right.
So
It's hard to miss.
You still failed.
Yeah.
How?
You should be beat up. You should be murdered yourself.
You
That's
still
crazy,
failed.
man.
And they said it stems from some drug kingpin thinking that he slept with his wife, so he put a hit out on him. That's what.
Seriously?
Allegedly, that's the story behind it.
Maybe your wife just a slut.
It's always freaking women, man.
Yeah, I'm not going to comment on that.
Lenny's a douchebag for saying
Lenny
that.
is a douchebag.
No, I'm saying is like,
No, but what he's saying is it's
so
like-
so much violence is
that
over
all-
women.
It's over women.
It all comes down to he took my chick. I gotta shoot this guy because he took my chick.
Listen, if you're this big drug cartel guy, get another chick.
But because that shows like to your
Weakness.
subordinates, yeah, you're weak. You let another man have your woman, even though you're probably.
I'm just here to
doing this,
kind
that,
of
and the
make
third.
money. I'm a drug cartel.
You're supposed
Drugs.
to be. You're supposed to be in control
Drugs
of your whole
is
domain.
my women. Drugs. You know what I'm saying?
Don't make no sense. Talking about drugs is my women.
I'm just saying, if you're a drug cartel, I don't care. I don't care. Go
You're supposed to be in
ahead.
control of your domain.
Control. Here you go. Look, the
You
drug
gotta be
cartel.
in control of your domain and control of your women.
Whatever.
Concubines.
All I'm saying. All I'm saying is, man, don't go to DR.
Harlots.
What did you say? All you saying is what?
Don't go
Harlots.
where?
Don't go to DR.
Nah, you can go to DR.
Nah.
You gotta stay where I stayed at.
Where you stay
My
at?
room was amazing.
Yeah, okay. I'm not
I
going
forgot
down
what it's
there.
called.
I'm not going down there.
Good advertising.
Me and Ed was supposed to go down there.
Oh, we
Not
never even
happening.
said like any of our
Oh,
our
yeah.
Johns. Oh
We
yeah.
didn't say our John, y'all. So, all the
Yeah.
stuff we've been talking about. You guys can call us, leave us a message at 302-408-0604. You can text us at the same number, and we will get back to you. If you listen to us on MixLR, we'll chat on there. Yeah, so all that stuff.
Check us out on Spotify, obviously YouTube, Google Play.
Is that the last one?
Facebook, Twitter,
.com.
Twitter.
All it. .com.
on the interwebs. Check us out on the interwebs.
Get well soon, Big Poppy.
Stop calling
Big
him that.
Poppy.
I'm not calling him that.
Hey, Poppy.
I'm not calling any other guy that.
His name's Big Poppy.
No, it's not.
His name's
What's
David.
his-
Big
David
Poppy
Ortiz.
Ortiz.
His name is David Ortiz. You call him that.
Tell him to get well. He got.
Yeah.
He,
I hope he do
a
get well.
hitman
Maybe he
failed.
got to change his name
maybe it was a warning.
from Big Pop to Little Poppy. Maybe he's Little Poppy.
Nah, he ain't. Maybe it was a warning. Maybe he's like, you better watch it.
Yeah.
That dude better not ever show his face. He gonna probably. He ain't gonna make it. Thank everybody for listening. We will holler at you guys next Tuesday. We seem to be sticking with the Tuesday format, so I might as well say next Tuesday
Yeah, I
at
mean,
7.
whatever, you know.
Give us a call, send us a text. Check us out on YouTube, MixLR, and all the other formats that Lenny just told you about. I'm not going through them again. All right, y'all.
Later.